Indian summer, parched pockets of searing temperatures, and a desperate need to beat the heat. A name synonymous with a solution to this dreaded weather. An iconic brand that changed the way India looked at air coolers. Led by a man with a unique vision, focusing on innovation, style, and unmatched quality. Refreshing lives the world over. Symphony Coolers, made in India, by Indians, for the world. Every great story begins on a simple note. And inventions are born out of necessity. When Achal Bakeri, the legend behind brand Symphony, began his journey in 1988, he was simply looking for an efficient yet aesthetic model of air cooling for his own home.
Back in 1987, we had moved to a new house in which there were parts of the house which could not be air conditioned, and so the only option for us was to use air coolers. That was the first time that we used air coolers, and we found that the product was very good for the Indian weather. So I jumped into it. I started developing the product, and that was the first time that an organized sector company began to manufacture air coolers.
And with this, Sanskrit Comfort Systems was launched in 1988. The company went on to become the air cooling giant we know today as Symphony Coolers.
After the initial launch in 1988, we scaled up our operations, and then by the summer of 1990, we were a pan-India company. And the response that we got was again outstanding. With that came the conviction that we were onto the right track.
Way before air conditioners became popular, they were seen as a luxury. The only respite for middle-class India was air coolers. They were economical, but sadly an eyesore. Symphony was the first brand to combine aesthetics with innovation.
The first product that we developed was actually, it looked like an air conditioner. For the common man, he had the pride of possession of owning something that looked like an air conditioner for about 1/6 or 1/7 the cost.
AC खरीद ले आई? पर ये तो तुम मुझे लुटा दोगी? मेरी बात तो सुनो. ये Symphony Kaizen air cooler है. Air cooler?
The product really sort of clicked from the word go, and that's how it all began.
Achal Bakeri started this journey small, but he had a vision. And he understood the dire need of a product like Symphony in the Indian market. He built this empire on an infallible foundation based on design, quality, and service.
When I started the company, it was, like any startup, it was started with a very, very small group of people. So we were the ones who were, doing everything, whether it's product development or looking after manufacturing, marketing, and everything. The team sort of rapidly grew. That 4 or 5 people is now 400-500 people. So we have a diverse mix of younger people who have joined the company recently. So we have the experience blended with the energy and the newer ideas and the creativity of the youth.
It's here. And AC, no fresh air. Symphony.
Symphony launched their first television campaign in 1990.
It's trendy. In a window or trolley.
And their sales picked up significantly soon after. In 1994, the company went public through an initial public offering. And the following year, Achal Bakeri received the Young Achiever Award. Stock market success brought with it the pressure to diversify and expand quickly. But success is a double-edged sword.
Post our IPO and post our going public, we were urged by our investors and analysts and people from the capital markets to diversify. They had felt that not only were we a single product company, but that too a seasonal product company.
Symphony diversified into making various products like domestic flour mills, water purifiers, geysers, washing machines, amongst others. But the diversification did not bring success.
Because of the failure of the diversifications, the company began to incur losses. By the year 2002 or so, we were actually scraping the bottom of the barrel. We had consumed and exhausted all our resources, our reserves, our equity and everything. And we were actually then referred to the BIFR. In essence, we were referred to the bankruptcy courts.
The virtues of patience, perseverance, and tenacious drive is what paved the path to a whole new world market for Symphony. The resolution to return back to the roots paid off, and Symphony was back in the game, better and stronger than ever.
As a part of our restructuring process, we decided to exit from all the diversifications and focus back onto the core product, namely air coolers. During the process of diversifications, we were only focused on multiple products, but just the home market, India. Post the restructuring, we decided to focus on one product, but decided to diversify into multiple geographies. And that seemed to work for us.
Today, Symphony is a trailblazer with 70 different models of air coolers, catering to domestic, commercial, and industrial segments. Slowly yet steadily, Symphony has evolved from a leading Indian brand to a global giant.
We first sort of established our sales in the Middle East, which is the most logical and the closest for us. And then gradually over the years expanded our distribution network across the world.
They have a robust distribution network enhanced by their international subsidiaries. IMPCO in Mexico.
As part of Symphony Limited since 2009, we at IMCO maintain a healthy synergy with other Symphony Group companies to adopt the best products, technologies, and practices in the industry to maintain our leadership in the region.
Kerulai in China.
We feel proud to be a part of Symphony Group, and we strive to continue on this path of innovation and cutting edge R&D to bring new products of air cooling segments.
Climate Technologies in Australia.
With the support of Symphony, we have fostered a dynamic culture of teamwork and innovation to bring some of the best products to the market.
And Bonaire in USA. Symphony has a global presence and sells coolers in more than 60 countries, including Vietnam, Singapore, France, Russia, and Brazil.
We have a fairly widespread global reach. In the world of air coolers, that makes us the largest and the most widespread of all manufacturers in the world.
Throughout its history, Symphony has been living and breathing innovation every day. Innovations that have constantly adapted to new challenges. The current designs address changing social trends and customer lifestyle needs.
Symphony has been known for its innovation, and innovation starts from the product. Product starts from the design. We have defined our own rules and regulations how the cooler has to be designed. so as to give the maximum efficiency, and product performance wise it gives the best possible performance.
Symphony air coolers have multiple modern and innovative features, like the world's first wall-mounted air cooler, iPure technology with multi-stage air purification systems, coolers with voice assist technology,
Cooling on.
and advanced touch control panels.
Touch control has been a very sophisticated way of operating any device. Symphony was the first one to launch that touch control, and that was a very successful innovation.
Not only are these coolers aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, but they are also energy efficient. Air coolers use natural elements like fresh air and water to provide cooling. They do not emit any harmful gases, unlike air conditioners. A pump circulates water from the tank onto a cooling pad, making it wet. A fan draws hot air from outside the unit and forces it through the moistened pad. As the air passes through the wet pad, it gets cooled by evaporation.
Air cooler consumes just 10% of the electricity. Energy efficiency of Symphony air coolers is one of the biggest selling points, whether it is for household application or for commercial application. Air conditioners can never, match on that front.
In the industrial segment, Symphony coolers are a much more viable option than central air conditioners. They can be used in factories, warehouses, auditoriums, malls and other large spaces, as they consume 90% less electricity than air conditioners. Intuitive, evolved, connected and environmentally aware, Symphony ticks all the right boxes. Symphony Coolers, an iconic brand led by a man with a unique vision. To create aesthetically pleasing, energy efficient and long-lasting air coolers right here in India. With a strong consumer base not just in the domestic market, but also worldwide. We get into the core of how Symphony coolers are created from scratch. The raw materials are brought in several times throughout the day. These plastic chips are poured into injection molding machines that create the exterior parts of the cooler. These components are significant as they form the frame of the cooler, which needs to be tough and resilient. Once this sturdy outer structure is constructed with utmost care, then comes the assembly of various parts which makes Symphony coolers stand apart. Every station seamlessly functions in a linear sequence to set all the parts together, beginning with assembling the top panel. This is followed by assembling the front panel. It consists of fitting the louvers which eventually control the vertical direction of airflow. The louvers are hammered in to ensure the fit is nothing but perfect. motor controlling the horizontal swing blades is fitted in next, which ensures optimal airflow in all directions. The main electrical motor which powers the fan is assembled onto a plastic frame. The motor and fan are sized and designed to deliver appropriate airflow. Next up is the top panel. It consists of control knobs that turn on the cooler and regulate fan speed. The water tank is submerged in water to check for any manufacturing defects before various parts of the cooler are put together. The front grille, water pump, back and top panels are fixed onto the water tank. With the fitting of the side panels, the outer structure of the cooler is finally complete. The control panel with knobs is slotted in. And then comes the finishing touch, placing labels and branding. Once the cooler is assembled, it moves into the most essential part of the process, quality check and testing. Each individual cooler goes through a rigorous inspection process before it is packed and shipped. In the endurance testing phase, each model that is produced is kept turned on continuously for 12 hours a day for 365 days. This helps the company to fix any issues that a customer might face over long-term usage.
Symphony was founded on the principle of creating products which are environmentally friendly, which conserve energy. As an individual as well as a company, we've always been very conscious about respecting nature and about respecting conserving natural resources.
Symphony Coolers, making India proud since 1988. This is when their first cooler was launched in a market hungry for affordable and energy-efficient cooling solutions. Today, close to 1,400 coolers are produced every day at this manufacturing unit, and quality control is the most crucial step of the process. Once the coolers pass the various quality checks, they reach the packaging station. With utmost care and precision, each cooler is boxed and securely packed. This is done to ensure that the coolers endure their long transportation journey. From here, they are sent to the storage area, where they are stacked until ready to be dispatched. Each box is carefully loaded onto trucks and sent out for delivery to more than 20,000 active retailers across the country. Symphony produces more than 20 lakh coolers worldwide annually. Symphony has always been devoted to giving back to the planet and its people. During the COVID crisis, Symphony donated 1,000 air coolers to the Gujarat government in its endeavor to fight the pandemic.
Symphony was founded on the principle of creating products which are environmentally friendly, which conserve energy. As an individual as well as a company, we've always been very conscious about respecting nature and about respecting conserving natural resources.
As a part of its CSR initiatives and commitment towards sustainability, Symphony took up an urban landscape project to establish the Symphony Forest Park.
We set about creating a garden which is unlike any garden that you see around. It is intended to be like a forest, a very, very natural forest.
With the ultimate aim to revamp an abandoned patch of land covering 11,000 square meters, Symphony rejuvenated the area to develop a forest park that contains more than 250 plant species, 30,000 tree saplings, numerous species of exotic birds, and a resuscitated lake with aquatic species.
This has already begun to create a very biodiverse little zone, and so all together create a sort of a symphony of nature.
A small step towards a cleaner, better future.
Like everything else in life, we believe that a company or a product is also really a symphony of various components which come together harmoniously to make a good company or a good product or a good human being or a good society or a good world. So I think it has meanings beyond the meaning in music, but I believe that that is what we have tried to create with the company, and sort of symbolizes and represents what we have tried to do over the years.
The mission of Symphony is to give their all to every customer while contributing to India's economic transformation and remaining true to their mantra of refreshing lives.